The Pac-12 2023 football schedule has been approved. It is finally set. Welcome to episode 133 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel, share the video with your family and friends, and smash that like button if you like our content. According to Jon Canzano, The Bald-Faced Truth by Jon Canzano, an article he just released this morning, the Pac-12 football conference, the schedule for the 2023 has been set. The full details are going to be released later this week. We're going to go over his article. Put down your comments in the comments section below the video. I think the Pac-12, I think they did some good work here in this 2023 schedule. There's 2 points of this article that to me is very odd. Again, put down your comments. Let me know what you think. Again, the full details of the Pac-12 football schedule will be released later this week. But according to Jon Canzano, these are the bullet points of the schedule. Again, I'll put a link in the description box below the video. Canzano 2023 Pac-12 conference football schedule is set. USC will have a bye week before the Pac-12 conference title game. That first sentence in the article, I was like, whoa, what? What? USC Trojans, the last year of them being a Pac-12 school, being in their football conference, they get a gift like that? They're going to have a bye week before the Pac-12 conference title game? I think that's a complete miss by the Pac-12, but I do think they did some good things in the schedule. Let's continue with the article. Again, that first sentence of the article just kind of had to take a step back. USC will have a bye week before the Pac-12 conference title game. How do the other universities in the Pac-12 besides UCLA approve of that? Let's continue. Deion Sanders' first conference game as coach will come at Oregon, and Washington faces a rigorous test in November of next college football season. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like the idea of Colorado playing some big-time brand games early in the schedule. We'll get to that again later in the article. The Pac-12 Conference Athletic Directors voted over a three-day weekend to approve the football schedule for next season. The conference will officially reveal the full schedule on Wednesday on the Pac-12 network at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So Wednesday, that is tomorrow. What I expect, the schedule will include a floating Pac-12 championship game that will be played in Las Vegas on either Friday, December 1st or Saturday, December 2nd, I'm told. The Civil War rivalry game between Oregon and Oregon State will be played on Friday, November 24th. It's the only Pac-12 game set for Black Friday. And one of the two Friday games, the Beavers are scheduled to play in 2023. So Oregon State has another Friday game in their schedule. Oregon State will also play Friday, September 29th at home versus Utah. Colorado is the only other team in the conference that currently has two Friday games on the schedule. Oregon and USC will play in Eugene on November 11th. I've noted that game on my calendar. It's the matchup I really want to see in the middle of the season. So they're putting that game a couple weeks before the season ends on November 11th, Oregon and USC. Washington and Oregon will both enjoy bye weeks before facing each other on October 14th at Husky Stadium. I'm told, will sides still bellyache? Discuss. Jon Canzano kind of giving a shot to the Washington and Oregon fan base. The Huskies play at USC November 4th. So USC has to play Washington and Oregon back-to-back weeks, November 4th and then November 11th. Then the Huskies will host Utah 7 days later on November 11th. Washington plays Oregon State on November 18th. Those three opponents were combined 21-6 in Pac-12 play last year. The month of November will make or break Kalen DeBoer's team and I think it will make Washington. I've got them as my way too early winners of the Pac-12 championship next season. Let's continue on with the article. The Week 11 of the Pac-12 season, November 11th, will be made for TV. USC will play at Oregon that week. Utah travels to Washington the same week. The conference may be hunting for some exposure and the glow of the late season national spotlight. That Week 11 is tremendous for Pac-12. USC at Oregon, Utah, the defending, reigning, undisputed Pac-12 champions, will go to Washington the same week. Now, this is what I also like about this schedule. Pac-12 did some serious thinking on this, and I think they hit a home run on this part. Colorado will open conference play versus Oregon at Oregon September 23rd. Then turn around and face USC at home the following Saturday. The Buffalo's conference schedule is front-loaded with those two games. They'll get eyeballs. I think that is the absolute correct move by George Kliavkoff, the athletic directors of the Pac-12. Front-load Colorado, because you know the exposure is going to be great. All the eyeballs will be on Colorado. Deion Sanders early in the season. If they lose some games, and they probably will early in the season, that might dissipate. The exposure, the eyeballs might dissipate. So front load Colorado's schedule in the Pac-12. Help out the conference as a whole. I think that's a great move by the Pac-12. Good, very good, decisive move. Washington State, getting back to the article, Washington State and UCLA take their bye weeks early in the season, week 5. That leaves both teams with 8 games in 8 weeks to finish the regular season. Will Chip Kelly be happy about playing 8 straight Super Bowls without a break? The Cougars and coach Jack Dickert open the Pac-12 at home versus Oregon State on September 23rd. USC has scheduled a week 0 non-conference game versus San Jose State. That affords the Trojans the opportunity to take 2 bye weeks. Week 3, and again, week 13, later in the season. USC has a bye a week before the Pac-12 championship game. I'm sorry, but that would not fly with me at all if I was one of the other Pac-12 universities. Not at all. The final week of the USC comes immediately before the conference title game, as we have covered. Arizona State will play 5 of the first 6 games of the Kenny Dillingham era at home. The schedule is built to establish some early confidence of possible bowl momentum. ASU plays a total of 8 home games in 2023. I don't know if this was brilliance by the Pac-12 or if this just came out very fortunate for them. But again, I think that's the right move. Arizona State, the Kenny Dillingham era. The guy he is from the state of Arizona. Big time hire in my opinion. This is great for Arizona State, and again, great for the conference in total. Arizona will open conference play at Stanford on September 23rd. The Wildcats also have a yet-to-be-determined Friday-Saturday game at USC in Week 6. Cal will open Pac-12 at Washington on September 23rd. The big game at Stanford will fall on November 18th, the second-to-last game of the season for the Bears. It's a 9-game conference schedule, once again for the Pac-12. Now, listen to this. According to Jon Canzano, there's been talk about the Pac-12 dropping to 8 conference games. But some members have expressed mild opposition, only mild opposition. Mostly because they don't believe finding a 4th non-conference game will be affordable and easy without more planning. A potential move to 8 conference games in 2024 is still on the table per source. Let me finish this article and then we're going to go back to that. I think that is absolutely nuts, crazy for the Pac-12 to contemplate to go to 8 conference games after USC and UCLA move out of the conference. Let's just finish the article. The athletic director vote on the schedule was not unanimous. There were 3 final drafts presented to the members, I'm told. The process gave each school a chance to vote for the preferred version. 5 points were awarded to each institutional's number 1 pick, 3 points for the number 2 pick, 1 point for the third choice. In A Draft 1, it received first place vote from 8 of the 12 conference athletic directors. Okay, so that just describes the process on how they finally determined their schedule. It wasn't unanimous. It had to be voted upon. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen in the Big Ten Conference. It might be the same thing that happens in the SEC Conference in 2024, 2025. These bigger and bigger conferences in the SEC and the Big Ten, it's going to be hard to figure out a schedule. Even in the smaller Pac-12 conference, it's hard to figure out a schedule that everyone agrees upon, so there has to be some voting mechanism to finally determine the conference schedule. But let's get back to this here. It's a 9-game conference schedule once again for the Pac-12. But there's been talk about Pac-12 dropping the 8 conference games. But some members have expressed a mild opposition, mostly because they don't find finding a 4th non-conference game would be affordable and easy without more planning. So let me get this straight. When the conference, when it expands, the playoff expands to 12 teams in 2024, and you have 6 at-large bids, and those 6 at-large bids are going to be up for grabs, and one of the determining points of who gets those at-large bids is strength of schedule. Who did you beat? And the Pac-12 is they're thinking about going from 9 to 8 conference games. Besides the point of who you're going to get for that 4th non-conference games, as it says here in the article, what games would be affordable and easy to be planned? You're dropping your strength of schedule pretty much automatically because those 4th non-conference games are going to be going against another G5 school or even possibly an FCS school, going from 9 to 8. And plus the media contract that you're trying to negotiate right now. Does Amazon, does CBS, does ESPN, do they really want to hear you say that you might go from 9 conference games to 8 conference games in football beginning in 2024? No, they don't want to hear that. But again, put your comments down in the comments section below the video. And let me just conclude. According to Jon Canzano, the drop from possibly 9 to 8 is being expressed mild opposition from some members. Some members are expressing mild opposition from going 9 to 8. Holy smokes. We're going to be following this. Tomorrow the schedule is going to be coming out in full details, but I think you mainly got the main bullet points thanks to Jon Canzano and his reporting of this morning. Let me know your thoughts. There's some things in here that I think were brilliant moves from the Pac-12. Colorado being a front-loaded schedule, more of the Arizona State home games being front-loaded. I think all that works for the betterment of the conference, for the entire conference. But having USC having a week off before a bye week before the Pac-12 championship game, and the potential drop of 9 conference games to 8 beginning in 2024. Don't do that, George Kliavkoff. Again, Kliavkoff, give me a call. Give me a call. All right? You're not going to give me a call. Anyways, until next time, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner to all of you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.